Good day, everyone, especially to you, Mom. The topic I choose is debate. But before that, let me introduce myself first. I am Marvin V. Villacorta. But before I begin, I have these learning objectives to help us to understand what is contained within this topic. So now, I am going to start. Learning objectives. Upon completion of this lesson, students will be able to first define debate. Second, identify two kinds of affirmative cases. Third, identify two kinds of negative cases. And the fourth, roles of debate. And the fifth, characteristics of debate. Six, purposes of debate. And the last is benefits of debating. What is debate? Debating is more formal way of communicating. Debate is a method of interactive and representational argument. Debate is a series of lectures for against on a given topic by knowledgeable persons. A debate is a contest where two teams present their arguments intended debate on is formalized public speaking in which participants prepare and present speeches on opposite sides of an issue to determine which side has stronger argument. Debate is one of the major ways people in a democratic society makes decisions. So, a debate is a discussion or structured contest about an issue or a resolution. A formal debate involves two sides, one supporting a resolution and one opposing it. Such a debate is banned by rules previously agreed upon. Debates may be judged in order to declare a winning side. Debates in one form or another are commonly used in democratic societies to explore unresolved issues and problems. So decisions are decisions at the board meeting, public hiring, legislative assembly, or local organizations are often reached through discussions and debate. So indeed, any discussion of a resolution is form of debate, which may or may not follow formal rules. In the context of classroom, the topic for the debate will be guided by the knowledge, skills, and value outcomes in the curriculum. So a formal debate usually involves three groups. One, supporting is a resolution or affirmative team. One opposing the resolution or opposing team. And those who are judging the quality of the evidence and arguments and the performance is in the debate. The affirmative and opposing teams usually consist of 3 members each, while the judging may be done by the teacher, a small group of students, or the class as a whole. In addition to the three specific groups, there may an audience made of the class members not involved in the formal debate. A specific resolution is developed and rules for the debate and established. Identify two kinds of affirmative cases. Affirmative case reasons and evidence present to indicate a problem with the present system and show why the action stated in the propositions is the best solution. So, affirmative cases in a to debate affirmative team needs to try and prove that there's a problems in the world that needs to be fixed. Then you should try and come up with a plan and points to support the plan as to how you're going to fix the problem. So there are the two types of affirmative cases. First, problem solution pattern. organizes information to show the problem cannot be solved by status quo, instead by proposition given. So the second is comparative advantages pattern. Organizes information to demonstrate that the proposal would have significant advantages over the status quo. So the next is identify two kinds of negative cases. Negative cases gives reasons and evidence that act as straight refutations of affirmative case, defends the status quo, or presents a counter plan. So negative cases, also known as deviant cases or outliers, are the ones in which the respondents' viewpoints differ or seem not to support the main body of evidence. Basically, it is the respondent's answer or experience that does not match the rest of your data. So there are the two types of negative cases. First is straight refutations approach. The entire negative case will be denial of each affirmative case stated. So the second is counter plan, presentations of a different solution. Roles of debate. First, a debate has two themes, an affirmative and a negative. Second, each side consists of three speakers. Third, the first affirmative speaker begins the debate and is then followed by the first negative speaker. Fourth, this pattern is maintained for the second and third speaker for each team. Fifth, each speaker speaks for a set time with a warning bell to give them a little time to sum up and finish, then a final bell. The last, there will be a chair or moderator who presides over the discussion. Debating is a team sport. You must work together when preparing your case and during the debate. Each speaker within team has a certain role to play. It is important that each speaker understand and fulfills their role. These speaker roles might sound a bit restrictive, but they help the debate run smoothly and clearly, so that everyone in the room understand what the debate is about and what each team stands for. In each debate, there are two teams of three speakers. The team which argues for the topic is called the affirmative. The team arguing against the topic is called the negative. Each speaker speaks once for defined period. The order of speaker is first affirmative, first negative, second affirmative, second negative, third affirmative, third negative. Following this final speech, the debating component is done and adjudicator takes time to give feedback and award the win. The first affirmative's role is to set out the team's interpretation of the topic, define the topic, outline the team split, and present arguments. The first task of the first affirmative speaker is to define the topic. The definition specifies the important issues and contentions and places boundaries on the issues that can be argued in debate. Certain words will be certain words will have multiple meanings. The definition should note the meaning of the keywords in the topic. Definition of words do not need to be dictionary definition or quote directly from dictionary. First and second speakers of both teams present arguments. The arguments said by the first speaker should be different and not overlap with the arguments of the second speaker. The argument should be supporting your team's contentions, agreeing or disagreeing with the topic. The first affirmative should present the argument allocated to the first speaker. The role of the first negative is very similar to the first affirmative. The first negative's role is to outline their team's contentions, team split, rebut the arguments of the first affirmative, and present arguments. The main difference between first affirmative and negative is the first affirmative defines the topic which the first negative does not typically do so, and that the first negative offers rebuttal. The speaker should attack the main theme of the affirmative argument as well as the specific issues raised by the first affirmative speaker. It is important to remember that you are rebutting the arguments the opposing speaker has raised, not opposing speaker personally. Like the first affirmative, they should give an outline of the theme, case, and arguments to be dealt with by each speaker. Second affirmative, second negative. The second speaker of both teams have the same speaker role. They both rebut their opposition's argument and present their own arguments. If there are any definitional issues in the debate, then these need to be dealt with, hopefully fully cleared up. Both speakers should keep in mind, like the first negative, that they are trying to prove that their definition is most reasonable. Each speaker should attack the main arguments of their opponents. The second affirmative should clearly identify the major areas of disagreement with negative case and attack the specific arguments of the first negative. The second negative needs to attack the main arguments of the affirmative, focusing the specific arguments raised by the second affirmative. Third affirmative and negative. The third speaker of both teams have the same role to rebut their opposition arguments and to summarize their team's arguments. Third speaker do not present arguments. New material is illegal from third speaker from the negative, and wellness it is legal for the third affirmative speaker to introduce new material. You are the best advised to left that speaker as much as possible for rebuttal. If it is an important argument, it should not be left to the last speaker in your team. The third speaker should rebut all the argument raised by the opposition across the debate, not just the argument raised by speaker before them. They should to present an overview by analyzing the main themes of the debate. They should identify the essential issues on which the teams have disagreed, rebut the important arguments of the opposing team, and defend any important attacks made against their own team case. Both speakers should include their speech with a brief summary of their team case. Characteristics of debate. First, it can be easily organized at short notice. Second, it helps to attract the attentions of audience and hold it to the end. Third, topics with reference to felt needs may be identified so as to enthuse the audience throughout the debate. Fourth, audience are instigated to think seriously and analysis by the proceedings of the debate. Fifth, the range of the topic as well as the time can be prefixed on agreement. And the last, it enables the participants to have a complete and unreserved expressions of their ideas. Purposes of debate. First, topics of controversial nature are dealt with. Second, when the group needs to be exposed to the pros and cons of the topic or decision. Third, when the participants have the capacity to present their side in a meaningful and interesting manner. And the last, there is favorable atmosphere in the group to accept ideas presented by logical arguments of the participants. The purpose of debate is to convince the opposition that you are right. When the two sides agree on the subject or when one side's arguments are more convincing than the other side, that is when the debate comes to a close. Benefits of debating. Decades of academic research have proven that the benefits that accrue as a result of exchanging in debate are numerous. Debate provides experiences that are conducive to life-changing cognitive and presentational skills. In addition, through debate, debaters acquire unique educational benefits as they learn and polish skills far beyond what can be learned in any other setting. At the very least, debate helps learners to see the power of deploying rational reasoned arguments and compelling evidence in action. It enables them to elucidate their standpoint through utilizing rhetorical eloquence. It instills in debaters a great sense of poise and confidence. It teaches them the skills of researching, organizing, and presenting information in compelling fashion. In general, the benefits of debate include: first, gaining broad, multifaceted knowledge cutting across several disciplines outside the learner's normal academic subjects. Second, increasing learners' confidence, poise, and self-esteem. Third, providing an exchanging, active, learner-centered activity. Fourth, improving rigorous, higher-order, and critical thinking skills. Fifth, enhancing the ability to structure and organize thoughts. Sixth, enhancing learners' analytical, research, and note-taking skills. Seventh, improving learners' ability to form balanced, informed arguments and to use reasoning and evidence. 8. Developing effective speech, compositions, and delivery. And the last, encouraging teamwork. Debating will help you develop critical thinking skills that are essential in daily life. Critical thinking is the ability to make well thought out and reasoned arguments while also questioning the evidence behind a particular conclusion or stance. That's all. Thank you.